My name is DJ Butter, Detroit's mixtape champion, and you watching Beat Shine. Music in general, it came from hip hop, or it came from maybe like Curtis Blow, Christmas rapping. Hearing it in my grandma's home. She actually sat there and listened to it because it had content into it. And we sat there and listened to it and looked at each other and was like, that's hip hop, And she played it on her church radio, and days like that. Maybe tuning into Saturday Night Live every Saturday and seeing who's the special guest. Nat Morris and R.J. Watkins, those shows here from Detroit. That was like our Don Cornelius and Soul Train here. The guest that was on there, Cole Medina, she was the interview host. The guest on there was like Merciless Amir, Awesome Dre, Prince Vince, Detroit's Most Wanted. Those guys, they gave us like the blueprint to hip hop, and then you had, of course, Run DMC. They were like the blueprint for us. I mean, I just seen a story where Run said one of the first shows they had was here in Detroit. So the impression from Run DMC left on Detroit with the Adidas sneakers and all that, it rubbed off on Detroit's Most Wanted and all of us, and overall that all of that, Esham, of course, and with the independent hustle, selling music out his trunk before a lot of people. Me being able to go on tour with him, it was a good thing, The weekends, going to Northland Mall and seeing Amasi Ski from Detroit's Most Wanted inside the mall. And, just seeing them buying clothes and with the fur coats on and, the Adidas on. And I'm pointing to my mom like, wow, that's what I want to do right there, That was like our LL and our Run here, And, that really inspired me. And just being there with my mom and she just saying just like, wow, he has a fur coat on like mine. And, and man, that's what you want to do. And, and she took me to the concert earlier, the earlier concerts, the Fresh Fests and those type of joints with Curtis Blow and AJ and Houdini and all those shows. We had all had our guest outfits on and feelers, and my mom took my brother and I to the concert, and, we did our thing, that was like my first big, impression on me for hip hop, Just Jam Master Jay, period. Like, just to watch how cool he was. He just seemed like the leader and, just being in the back. At my earlier point, my father, he was always saying, won't you be Ron? Why do you want to be JMJ? He's in the back, won't you be Ron? But JMJ always seemed like the staple to the group, So it was always Jam Master Jay for me, DJ Shotgun, he later on DJ for Goody Mob. He was from Pontiac, Michigan. He's from here. The 12 Tech Mob, DJ Len Swan. He produced like a lot of the World One records with Dice, and he produced a lot of that Dice stuff. And when Chris Webber did his solo album and the No Coast stuff, DJ Len Swan, he was like a real inspiration to me. He used to call me on the phone and let me hear him, cut. We used to just sit on the phone and just cut, Like, check me out. And he said, check me out. And that was our thing, just to get on a three-way phone and call up Dez and, just to hear each other scratch on the phone. So, we used to do that a lot, just to sit back and just like, hear this, a sale on 8 Miles. It's called the State Fair. I told my dad, I said, yo, I'm going to come up with my money for one if you can buy one. So back then, they were like $500 a piece, It was like, I was maybe like 14 and a half or something like that. I hustled to get, $500 for one turntable. And he helped me get the other one. But I don't even think he gave me the whole $500. I think he came up with like $250 or something. So I pretty much was like, I poured everything, into getting those turntables. Because back then they were saying that Technique 1200s was the turntables to have. I had the belt drives, the little $70, $80 turntables, but they were snapping all the time. So once I got my turntables, my uncle gave me his mixer, and I formed my group, Sudden Strength Posse, out of Highland Park, right around that time. I was a little more established. Back then they were calling me Terminator 1200 was my name. It was kind of corny, but, DJ Skill, yeah, that was my earlier names, I just took every house party I could, just to pretty much pay for the, the overhead of the turntables. A lot of parties were violent, you know what I'm saying? A lot of parties just, my turntables got damaged and things, but, just, anything I could do, to make my father see that was worth me, buying these expensive turntables. So I would DJ parties for like maybe $60 or something like that. Sometimes like $30, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 100 sometimes when I'm lucky. And, I just wanted to have them. They just looked good on stage, and I didn't want my rap partners to see me with some bold turntables. So we was able to do a lot of the local Latin quarters, the plugger shows on the TV show in Highland Park. We performed a lot of church events in the basement, just things I was able to have my turntable, so it was a good look for me. We looked like Richie Rich and DJ Miz and all them guys, So, rest in peace, Ellie Ill. But my friend Ellie Ill, Patrick Hendricks, he showed me how to make beats before he passed away on a 4-track. Actually, back then we couldn't afford equipment, so we just used the double cassettes and just record and pause and scratch sound effects in the beats. And at one point he will put the yellow pages. He put the microphone on the yellow pages and had a pencil on the yellow pages, and then he EQ the pencil, the drums from the pencil on a 4-track to make it sound like actual drums. So and we layer it, you know what I'm saying? So when you hear it, when you play it back, it sounds like he had some real drums, from the pencils, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of our little techniques, you know what I'm saying? So my Uncle Jimmy, he used to have a lot of equipment, vinyl, DJ equipment, and for 8-tracks and reel-to-reels, all that stuff. He used to buy all that stuff because he, was in the streets and stuff. But my grandmother had a flood in the basement, and on Log Cabin at Puritan, and she called my father and I. She said, we have a flood in the basement, and my uncle's equipment was all in the basement. So as we walked in the house and looked in the basement, the water was just so, it was real high, on the basement. So we walked in there. I just grabbed anything I could to just try to salvage, you know what I'm saying? And I kept it. He said, nephew, keep what you want, A lot of it was water damage, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't bother me about what was left, some of the mixers and, things that was there, records, a lot of records I got to really get hip to B-52s and all that stuff he was collecting back then, Cosmic Car and all that stuff. That was the days when I got my equipment, just getting my uncle's damaged equipment, you know what I'm saying? My family is Jehovah's Witnesses, so I didn't, they were kind of hard on my father with music. So he kind of quit it early. He never really showed me his hand on what, I hear things, but, and I see pictures. He was a drum major at Mumford High School. He was like the lead drum major there. So, and I just really just try to just do good at it. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother took it more serious than a lot of people around me. You know what I'm saying? My wife take it serious. A lot of people just, I think being here in Motown is just a lot of darkness with music. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of brightness with it too. You know what I'm saying? So, because you listen to your parents. They met Stevie Wonder and all these guys here when they were kids, and they seen the struggle with that. So a lot of people was trying to have their own doo-wop bands and things that never worked. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of stuff that nobody heard. I did a lot of stuff at Mo Master Productions. Mo Master was the first guy that recorded all of us, Eminem and Proof, Trick, and all those guys. There's a lot of stuff I have on 4-track tapes that's there. That's where I met Proof at, and from there, I did Kill the DJ. Was like one of my first major releases. We had a song called Act a Fool on there. Proof and I and Bugs from D12. I'm proud of that record because a lot of people didn't really record Bugs back then, and to have Proof and Bugs on that same song was a classic for me. I helped D12 with that Shit Happens song, the first song on Devil's Night. I didn't get any credit for it, but I was glad to see it was there. A lot of my albums, I worked with Isham on this album, Sacrificial Lambs. It's a song on there called Stay on Your Toes. I'm proud about that record. And the new one, A Piece of the Action, just to be able to work with Coogee Rap, and that was like a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? For him to know who I am, and things like that. So a lot of my work was like demos back then to a lot of their work. So I recorded Obi Trice early with Denon, and it was a lot of those guys can't really create like that anymore, together. So I'm glad to be able to do that, you know what I'm saying? So just because the time and just the way those deaths has affected a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Even with Proof Mom, it's been as she's tried to bring a lot of people together. A lot of people just when they pass away, it's been a lot of more distance, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got to keep repairing things, you know what I'm saying? To be able to go on tour with Isham was pretty dope. To perform Sunshine and stuff. To be able to go to Utah and just to see people embracing Detroit hip hop, and to see the people wearing Detroit tattoos on their arms in other states, and you know what I'm saying? It was the Fago pop, and just to see that. In Utah, you know what I'm saying? Colorado, Arizona, we went all the West Coast. We did like 21 shows. That was pretty dope. To be able to help QD3 with the beef thing, the way that the content came out, some content I didn't like, but to be able to give them some history, you know what I'm saying? That people don't really see, you know what I'm saying? That was my kind of goal, to really kind of document everything in the Detroit hip hop, like you guys have been doing. The White Rapper Show, I helped MC Search with that. Yeah, I did some stuff on that. I helped King Gordy when he first got on with his web entertainment, his situation, to be able to have those records to get, those guys to where they had solo deals and things like that, Here, it's different. I mean, I think Dilla kind of said that on that interview. Detroit kind of like beat you up, It's just like, it's just how we are. It's like music. That's so what? Everybody does music, But to travel and people say wow, and to be able to work with different camps and they embrace you, it's like your music become like a pass, like to get to certain people and places, So that's what I'm kind of realizing, like to be able to see my music there before me, and then meet these people and they embrace what I'm doing, So, because Detroit is just, it's Motown. Everybody has that Berry Gordy energy, or that Motown baby energy. So is natural to us. It's nothing really extra. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to see to really invest in yourself. I really try to promote that, and I see when some of my rap buddies pass away, their music and a lot of their stuff is scattered. You know, their master tapes and just platinum plaques is here, there, boom. It's just so much, just to really protect your legacy and really believe in yourself. That's what I really want people to see. It's so much bigger than money all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you really want to inspire people. It's not about, closing the door behind you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to open it up, and even if you're having a bad day, you know what I'm saying? Just open the door up and inspire that person behind you who may be having a bad day, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? So he can open the door behind him, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to do. Just showing that we can be a hip hop economy, that showing the brotherhood in Detroit hip hop, to be able to share with each other. Because there's a lot of guys that got on and really didn't share properly, or just pass some ideas around properly. And that's what I just want to do, just be able to, if somebody call me and say, yo, Butter, how do you get your music in Australia? To say, here's a card, call these people, and I want them just to see the trailblazing and that without all the attachment. Everybody got vices, so if that's investing in yourself, really invest in yourself.